Welcome to StreamLine Marketing Pro. This is Jenny Carlson, co-founder and 20-year real estate industry professional. Join me as I share one of the many features of the StreamLine Marketing Pro system. Hey, thank you for joining. Let's talk about your contact record and how that works. Now, this is just going to be an overview. There are actually multiple features within your contact record, and we're going to have individual videos for those for you, or you're always welcome to reach out to us either by phone or scheduling an appointment and doing a Google Meet. It's totally up to you. But in the meantime, we're going to just kind of do an overview so you understand what's available to you within the contact record and a general overall how to type thing. So let's talk about Mr. Fake Name. So we're doing a fake contact record. This is our example account here. So I'm going to show you that up here to the right of Fake Name, over here in the middle, it says owner assign to, and it's currently unassigned. So as part of your setup with StreamLine, we're going to take all of your contacts and we're going to assign them to you. Unless you are coming in with a team where some are specifically going to be assigned to one person or another already, we're going to go ahead then, if not, and by default, you will find that all of your contacts are automatically assigned to you. This just helps the system to work better. It helps with things like e-signatures and things like that. So we want to make sure that it is assigned, all contacts are assigned, and we have that kind of pre-set up for you so that you don't have to think about that. Again, if you do have a team, an assistant, a buyer's agent, whatever the case may be, you are able to go ahead and choose who's going to be assigned to that contact. So in my case, I'm going to just here we go. I'll just assign myself, right? And so now we have somebody assigned to this contact. You can technically also leave it unassigned if you would like to do that. So that is up to you. Now, within the contact record, you'll notice here at the top, it says hide empty fields. Now, why would that really matter? You'd think it wouldn't really matter, but within our system, because this system will attach things like if you create surveys or forms or satisfaction surveys, right? Anything like that. Maybe you do forms to capture leads to give them information like buyer or seller guides or top 4 mistakes buyers make in Chicago, for instance. Those kinds of things. Those will show up within your contact record. So a great way to just kind of automatically filter out the noise, as I call it, is to go ahead and click on hide empty fields. And what that does is it only shows the fields that have something filled in. And this just keeps you from having to scroll through a lot of empty information looking for something, and you can go straight to what's already there. So it's a great tool, but if you want to add something, if you're adding information, like maybe you're adding spouse information, you're adding an extra email, you're adding their address, whatever the case may be, then of course you want to leave this unchecked at the top, hide empty fields, because otherwise you won't have those fields to fill in. Now, that said, we actually do include spouse information within the contact record. And we also have you have the ability to put contact source and contact type. So within contact type, just know that the automations and everything, the emails and all of that we work with in the system are really based upon tags, which we're going to go over here in a minute. But you can also use contact type. I'm also an agent. So I like to have, beyond the tags, I like to have the contact type really handy. And so I want to know if it's a customer. I want to know if it's title company or a lender, et cetera, or another agent, for instance. So just at a glance. So I like having those filled in. You can just leave everything at select if you want to even, and not even have that filled in. It's completely up to you. Now, that said, let's just scroll down a little bit. Obviously, you can fill in if they're a business name, street, website, time zone. I wanted to show you here. These are currently collapsed. These are the additional fields that I was speaking about. So let's just go right here for a second. If you were to choose the form where as lead capture for them to either do a seller's guide or a buyer's guide, then this would, and if they had chosen one, it would be filled in like that. You also have the ability, as you can see, I just check marked that, to complete content information within here yourself. So let's just say you're on the phone, and let's scroll down here, and maybe you're asking them, you're following up after an open house. Maybe they reached out to you and they didn't answer this question. And so you wanted to know what really brought them by today. Or you want to know if they're working with a real estate agent, etc. You can go ahead and fill these in, how they found out about your open house, whatever the case may be. You can just fill it in. Yes, they're pre-approved or not. They don't have to fill out the form for you to be able to add this information as appropriate. So yes, I'm approved with the lender and type of property they're looking for, right? Single family home. And all of that is up to you. If you'd like to fill that in, you are welcome to do so. But all of this is tied to forms that are existing in the system for your use. Now, let's just go to the guide form. If you wanted to change or have a form for different guides or ebooks that you want to offer to your clients, you can do that as well. And once you do that, those items will show up here also. We do have a customer satisfaction process, survey process for you. And as part of your orientation, we'll talk about that as well. But we do have a workflow for that. And really, it's designed to protect your reputation. So they get a survey that asks them how the process was, what they liked, was there anything you could improve upon, those kind of things. And at the very end, it does ask them, did you earn a 5-star review? If they say yes, then they will automatically get your link, whether it's Google, Zillow, whatever it is, Realtor.com. And then, of course, we recommend that you always do include Google, and also recognize that clients don't want to have to do it over and over and over again. So we currently recommend that you do it through Google, as that can also help your ratings. So that's that. And then let's talk about tags. So within the system, we already have some tags, and those tags are how we set up your workflows. Everybody's connected through tags. So it's just another way to say category, basically. And if you have categories of your own, you don't want to use our tags, that's completely okay. As part of your onboarding, we'll actually have that conversation, and then you'll tell us, okay, well, I have them designated just as buyer. I don't designate whether they're ready or their status as a buyer, and I just want to put everybody as a buyer. And that's okay completely. And then what we do is we ask you which follow-up plan, which workflow do you want them to be set up on, if any. And so we help you as a part of the onboarding process for that. But we have all of these tags right here built in for your use. And again, we'll have that consultation during your onboarding to decide how you want to utilize that and what's going to work best for you. Because the whole idea of the system is to work around your business model and not vice versa, right? So obviously our system does what it does, but I think one of the challenges for agents is figuring out how to apply a CRM system to how they do business. And so that's one of the things that makes StreamLine unique, is that we help you with that, right? So we help you say, okay, well, this is how I want to do business, or I do business, and how can I now use the CRM to help me do my business this way? And so that's what we do. Okay, so within there, here are automations. Now, the joy of this is that you can see if a client is on an automation, if they were on an automation, what that was at a glance, but you can also add them to an automation right here within their contact record. So one of the things I love about the system, you don't have to jump out to go into something else to get things done. You can do it straight from their contact record. So if I wanted to add them to a workflow, let's just say that we're saying they're a buyer that's just not ready yet. And when do we want them to start on that workflow? Well, I want them to start right now. There are instances where there might be reasons why you would delay that start time. But for now, I'm just going to say, yes, I want them to start right now. And I'm going to click add. And then you're going to see that now that's showing up here under their active automations. Okay, and so you'll see it's blue. If you notice this little X right here, so let's just say you accidentally apply them to the wrong workflow and you say, on second thought, I want to do something different. Well, I'm just going to X them out. It's going to say, are you really sure you want to do that? And now it's moved them into the past workflow of buyer not ready. So if somebody's, let's just say you get the notification that somebody's workflow has expired, because that is built into the workflows so that you have an opportunity to get them onto the next appropriate stage, hopefully. And so maybe you got that notification that they expired their buyer not ready, and they are actually out showing now and they're ready to go into that category. You can actually go here and go buyer ready and go ahead and add them. And we'll do it again. We'll do it for now and click add. And now all of a sudden, right, they're on the buyer ready. And so they start getting those emails, and the wording to those emails are different. They've got a different focus. And all of them are designed to move your client to the next stage, help them to recognize your value as an agent, and help them with questions that they may not be comfortable with them in asking you, such as things like, well, what if they find a FSBO? Over the years, I've been doing this now a little over 20 years. And over the years, I have just seen that over and over, especially with for sale by owners, where the buyer goes out behind the agent's back, gets a for sale by owner under contract, and then has all kinds of problems, of course, right? But they don't want to fess up to the agent, and they just start ghosting the agent or whatever the case may be. And the agent finds out later they bought a FSBO. So we go ahead and we answer that question, and why is an agent important, and those kind of things. So that's what those emails are about, those automations. And I'm going to go ahead and X out, obviously, because since this is Mr. Fake Name, he doesn't actually need to get our automations. Okay, so opportunities is something that you can use. We will have videos separately on that. You can use those, and you should not see in your account the courses or community groups. That's some features that just aren't currently there yet and you have no use for. So it's because this is my example account. That's why that's there. So you may ignore that. Now the D&D, this one, I love this. It's a great tool. And of course, you can see at a glance if a client has maybe you sent a text and they came back and they said stop. You'll notice that as soon as I did that, over here in the middle under communication tab, all of a sudden it pops up D&D enabled by user for SMS. Okay, so that pops up there. And so if they do the D&D, so if they say stop the communication or they unsubscribe, then you can't change that. You won't be able to change it. But if you accidentally check marked it, maybe you were scrolling up and down the screen and you just accidentally clicked it, then you can unclick it and you'll notice enabled and disabled here for you. Also, what I love about this system is that you can D&D inbound calls and SMS. This is great for those spammers that we all get. And you can click on that and it will stop all communication from anything that's in the system, from that number, that email, etc. So it's a quick, easy way to go ahead and D&D those spam communications, or, we all have those nightmare communications. And so you can stop those anytime that you want. And of course, any changes that you make, you can click on save right there. So as soon as you click on save, all the changes that I made, which was basically just this and maybe a couple check marks up here, all of those are now saved in the system. So that is your contact left side of the contact record that goes all the way down all those fields. In the middle is your communication section. So if you do choose to have SMS features, StreamLine does offer that. We do not offer it for cold calling or cold texting. We don't do that. But if you are wanting to set up automated text, say for instance, for your leads that are they've actually reached out to you and asked to speak with you, that kind of thing, then absolutely you have the access to do that. Or they're your clients, you can use the SMS text feature or phone feature through our system. And then of course email as well. And you'll notice that when I clicked on email, it actually threw my e-signature here into the box. And of course you do your subject. We'll just do a little, and then a little bit of this, right? Some gobbledygook, as I call it. And right here, WhatsApp, you do have that ability as well. There is an extra fee for that comes directly from the platform that's out of our control. And we do not upcharge that, but want to make you aware. You do have the SMS email, and you can talk to us about that if you want to look into having that feature, having a phone number and having that texting feature. You do have that available to you. Now, over here on the right-hand side, you're going to see activity. Now, what would show here is if Mr. Fake Name had visited my website or had gone to any of my social media, or perhaps, if he had, for instance, filled out a form, that kind of thing, any activity that the system can pick up from anything that's connected. So your Google business listing, those kind of things, those are going to show up under activity. If they submit a showing feedback form, that activity is going to show up there. Now, the showing feedback form fields would be over here on the left, like I showed you earlier, but the activity of them having completed it, the date and the time will all show up over here on the right-hand side. Now, you'll notice we have different icons up here at the top. So you do have the ability to add tasks within the system, within the contact record right here. I'm not going to go through all those steps now. We will do separate videos for those, but I just wanted to show you these things are available to you. You can add notes, and you can also add appointments, or if they have used your book a call on your website with us to book an appointment, it's going to show up here and it's going to show up in your calendar. And you also have the option to add documents. So you can either add documents from here, see new file, and you have the option to click to upload or drag and drop, and you can upload these, or if they're sent or received through the system, they're going to show up here. So if your client sends you a document, or you send your client a document through the system, it's going to attach it here. So you're always going to be able to see those documents right there within the system. Okay, so that in a nutshell is our contact record. And of course, like I said, we'll be doing individual, more in-depth email or videos, and you'll be able to see, but I did want you to be able to have an overview of contacts within StreamLine's system. Of course, if you have any questions or if there's anything we can do to help you, please always reach out. We're always here for you. And thank you so much for joining today to go over what the features within the contact record are. Thank you so much and have a great day.